Alrighty, welcome back everyone, it's EvanHusa57 here. I am back on Neverwinter on the Xbox One, and today I will be bringing you a very interesting video. Hopefully you will enjoy it. So if you have had any questions about hunting down rare creatures, what are rare creatures, or how to summon the hunt bosses, this video will explain everything. Basically all of the Neverwinter hunts in Mod 12, which is the jungles of Chult, I will fully explain to hopefully eliminate any confusion. So, before we go into the zone, hopefully, if you are going to do this, you either want to bring friends or have fairly decent gear, because some of these enemies can hit quite hard. With that being mentioned, I am going to show you how to create the lore items first, then I will show you the enemies, and then we will actually go and fight the bosses. So, without further ado, you are going to need to unlock the Port Nyanzari area from doing the Dark Tidings quest, which will bring you to this Hunter's Square marketplace. In this marketplace, this is where you will trade your trophies, or trinkets as they are called, for lores. Now remember, trophies and lores are considered a unique item, so very important, you cannot have more than one of the same item in your inventory or your personal bank at the same time. However, multiple items can be stored in the guild bank, mailed to yourself, or stored on alts, as you see here. Now, every item, as you can see in my bank, every lore is going to need a T-Rex Fang and an additional item for the Tier 1 hunts. You will also need to have this unlocked in your campaign. So I'm going to go ahead and collect one of my mails, and I'm going to show you in the campaign what you need to have unlocked under Jungles of Chult. In order to craft the T1 lores, you will need Monster Hunt Rare Creatures. T2 lores, you will need Monster Hunt Epic Creatures, and for the Tier 3 and final one, you will need the Monster Hunt the King. Alright? But that is separate from direct dungeon progression. Direct dungeon progression is right up the middle. That's not what we're here to cover, though. So you can see I have a Tyrannosaurus Rex Fang and a Rotten Ogre's Femur, and you will trade both of these items in for a Preserved Heart. This is the T1 lore to summon the boss Splice, or whatever you want to call him. Now next, we'll go ahead and get out another set of items, and that is going to be the T-Rex Fang and the Smilodon Tooth. And for those, you'll come to this NPC, trade them in for the Embroidered Cloak, which is the Tier 1 lore to summon Arachna, I believe that's how you pronounce it. Let's get another set of items out here. This is going to be the T-Rex Fang and the Venom Tail poison, and that will be at this NPC right here for the Flask of Sulfur, which is the lore for Heditet, or Heditet, whatever you want to call that one. I'm not sure the pronunciation on every single one of these, just as a heads up. Then we'll take the Tyrannosaurus Fang and the Big Claw Pincer, which is again at this NPC. That makes the Sailor's Shroud. And then I need to take out the Ectoranus Talon and the Tyrannosaurus Fang, which is at this NPC. That gives you Bottled Terror. And there is one last one that we need to do, which is going to be the Vitara's Brave Trinket and the Tyrannosaurus Rex Fang. So this combination right there, Vitara Brave's Trinket. Again, this NPC, and that makes the Vitara War Mask. So once you have those items, you will see there is a total of 6 of these items. And that is the total of the Tier 2, or Tier 1 bosses, sorry. Every one of these Tier 1 bosses has the chance to drop a Tier 2 resource, which is used to craft their respective Tier 2 lore. And the Tier 2 bosses have a chance of dropping an item that is used to craft the tier 3 resource. Now, I am going to go ahead and travel into the jungle here, and then I will show you the enemies that drop each type of item that I just showed you. Now, I know some of you might be a little anxious to get to what do I kill and where do I kill it. Hold on, we'll cover that. Once you get to the jungles, you're going to see a map basically just like this. I have the Fog of War completely removed, and there is a total of 12 altars that you will need to use to summon all of the bosses, at least for the tier 1s, then an additional 3 for the tier 2s, and one final one for the tier 3. We're not going to worry about all of that. Now let's cover the very specific enemies that you need to kill. The way this works, and what you may have heard, is you need to kill rare creatures to get a drop. Well, only regular creatures spawn normally, then you kill them, and they have a chance when they respawn of being a rare creature. I'm going to cover the rare creature types. Now, because they are rare, I have screenshots saved. And this is the only way that I would be able to show you each one of the enemy types. So these are the crabs that spawn. They're big blue crabs, and they are the big claw. Those are the ones that can drop the big claw pincer, as the name sounds. Now you can also get the T-Rex Fang, the big claw pincer, and the ogre's rotten femur from fishing. However, I don't know the exact drop chance on it. Now, the next one, the next enemy that you're looking for, and because they're named weird, this is why I have pictures for you to see. This is a Smilodon. Now, it's a very close-up image of the Smilodon. As you can see, it's kind of got the lion's mane, giant tooth, and it was in the process of killing me when I took that screenshot. So here is a slightly better screenshot for you. That's a little bit farther back image of the Smilodon. As you can see, except for the name, it looks identical to the Chalten Tigers. But the name is different, and the mane that it has around it is different. I'll also explain how to identify the items a little bit later on, or how to identify the enemies. This is the Venom Tail, which is the special for the scorpion. Now, again, it was trying to kill me at the time, so it can be hard to see, but you'll see the name Venom Tail at the top, and then this one on the left says Giant Scorpion. So that is the rare enemy for the scorpion, which drops the Venom Tail. Venom Smilodons drop the Smilodon teeth. Big Claws drop the Big Claw pincers. You kind of get the general idea. Okay, that screenshot didn't load for some reason. Let's hope that this one loads better. Yes, there we go. This is the one for the Vitara. Now, the Vitara Brave Trinket, when a group of rare enemies spawns, they will have that red glow around them. However, only one of those enemies is actually a rare enemy. You will notice because when you kill it, the rest of the group will stop glowing red. And one last final rare enemy, and that is the Rotten Ogre. That is the one that drops the Rotten Ogre's femur. So basically, the enemy that drops it, the trinket is named after that enemy. Pretty easy to identify. Now let's cover, as we proceed down to do a couple of these lores, let's cover some of the spawn points for these enemies and how to possibly identify them from regular enemies. Also, compies, spiders, and regular raptors do not have a rare enemy type. Lions do not have a rare enemy type as well. So this first enemy right here is the Chalten Tiger. There will normally be 2 to 3 of them in a spawn. You must kill the Chalten Tigers to get the rare enemy, the Smilodon, to spawn. The next enemy that we're going to encounter is the Scorpions. And right here is some of the great scorpions. you will need to kill the great scorpions in order to get the Venom Tail to spawn. Right here, conveniently though, you can see a pack of Smilodons. You will notice that as a general rule, every pack of enemies is typically 3 enemies. And, well, when it comes to the rare spawns, there's normally only 2 of them. Also, when you kill a pack of rare enemies, there is no guarantee that you will get an item. Here is another pack of scorpions. They're not rare. There's only 3 of them. Scorpions and the Vitara do not follow this rule. Vitara will spawn a normal-sized pack, and scorpions will spawn regular giant scorpions with, on top of that, the actual scorpions themselves, the Venom Tail. So there will be more scorpions. Now, those little, like, big raptors, Dicanopus, or whatever the hell they're called, these guys are the ones that the screenshot did not load for. And I do apologize that the screenshot would not load. But those are the regular version, and the rare version of them, which is the one that drops that raptor claw looking thing, those will be the same enemy, but they have a little bit longer horn, and they have black stripes on them. So they're like brown with black tiger stripes. There's also only 2 in a pack. And I wish I could show you the screenshot, but unfortunately I can't. They are rare. Now there's one last enemy that I do need to show you, and you will see in our travels, which is probably why some of you are asking about the Tyrannosaurus Rex Fang. I did not cover it as far as the enemy or screenshot it, simply due to the fact that it is the most widely known of all of the rare creatures. And there are 3 spawn points for it. Right here, moving north, right here, going in a triangle, and right about here. Well, actually, no, not right about there. Sorry, it's gonna spawn right there and move that way. Those are the 3 spawns for the Tyrannosaurus. Now remember, a Tyrannosaurus is a regular enemy. A Tyrannosaurus Rex is the enemy that is considered a rare and actually drops the item for you, which is the T-Rex Fang. Now, a T-Rex Fang will drop for everyone in the group if you are the only group of players attacking that Tyrannosaurus Rex. If there are multiple groups of people attacking a Tyrannosaurus Rex, then the Tyrannosaurus Rex will drop 1 Tyrannosaurus Rex Fang for each group. So in that case, it is best to disband group in order to kill that Tyrannosaurus Rex. All other rare enemies will only drop 1 trinket or trophy, whatever you want to call it, for the entire group of players that is attacking it. Therefore, it may be best to farm those by yourself. How you wish to farm them, what method you wish to use is completely 100% up to you. So I do believe I have covered all of the rare enemies, all of the items that are dropped from the rare enemies, and now we will get to actually summon a boss. So how cool is that? Now you know that there's this heroic encounter that spawns here. It's useless. Also, do not confuse the King of Spines heroic with the King of Spines hunt. All of these items that we are doing right now, if you wish to look at the gear, you can find it under the collections tab, and then just scroll down to where it says Chult, and over here to where it says hunts of Chult. All of the hunts of Chult gear are dropped by hunt bosses. So very simple to identify. And as you can see, here are some rotten ogres now. Remember, if you have the lore in your inventory or the unique item, the trophy in your inventory, another one will not spawn. So very important that you mail or put into your shared bank those items. Also clear out the surrounding area before summoning the boss. Now this one, if we look right here on the camp, It's right behind Camp Vengeance on the map, not the camp, sorry. All these enemies are respawning from the heroic, so I'm just going to kill them real quick. And this will be the boss, Splice. So this is what you use the Preserved Heart for. Now, it does take a second to summon. You can earn an additional 25 totems. Whether or not you have this unlocked, you can still earn the additional 25 totems per week, and that also is per character by completing the hunts. They can be soloed if you have decent gear, but it's always fun to bring a friend. Now, you will see, what did we get? I got the Bone Spurs, which are very common, and I got the Ring of the Undead Slayer. This enemy can also drop Splice's Rotten Rib, which is the tier 2 resource. So, the Slayer ring for the Undead is not really that great. It's HP and deflection, and it has a bonus damage against Undead. The Bone Spurs, however, are pretty decent because they are HP, crit, recovery, defense, and when you damage or heal your target for more than 15% of your maximum HP in a single blow, you gain 1% armor pen for 10 seconds, stacking up to 5 times. So a pretty good item. The next item on our kill list is going to be the Sailor's Shroud. And that enemy is actually relatively close to us. He's down here on the beach. It will be a giant crab. Again, relatively easy to fight. Not exactly the easiest one, but relatively easy. So you can pretty much ignore most of those enemies. And you can keep multiple lures in your mail if you want. But I do suggest anytime you do a lure, make sure you clear out the area. It makes life so much easier. So just kill the enemies first. Then go ahead and use the lure. And you will have a giant crab to kill. And he basically has the same attack pattern as the regular crab, so relatively easy to bring down, get him on the ground, and just have crab legs. And he actually dropped the Carpus Fragment, which is the tier 2 resource, and he dropped a Ring of the Beast Slayer. Now, he can drop yet another item, which is this particular item right here, the Hull Snapper Gauntlets, but he did not drop those at the time. This +4 piece of gear isn't bad, and that tier 2 resource is actually quite good. So I'm going to mail the tier 2 resource to myself, because remember, it's a unique item. We cannot get another one while we have that. And now I am going to do the Vitara Brave mask, which is going to be over here. This is the one that's made from the Vitara's trinket, remember? This one's a little bit more annoying because it's in the middle of the Vitara camp. And as you know, if you've been farming, there is a ton of enemies. Now, I'm not going to show you every single enemy spawn because I'm sure most of you know the spawns by now. There's also several maps on Google that you can use, but I will give you a general highlight at the end of the video. So here is a pack of the rare Vitara, as I had shown earlier. And you can go ahead and kill them for a chance that one of them will drop the trinket, which they did not. They also dropped the Vitara prisms, which are basically useless. So you're going to want to clear out the immediate area, the entire immediate area, because this boss will move around quite a bit, and the last thing you want to do is be fighting it and be fighting multiple Vitara at the same time. Or Batiri. I think it might be Batiri, but I call them Vitara. Alright, so that's all clear. And we are going to summon Clawgrays now. Yes. There he is in the bushes. The little raptor riding Vitara. All of them have about the same HP. There's only one of these that is actually annoying to deal with. This guy, like I said, moves around a lot, which is why you need to clear the area first. And then just vaporize him. He did give me a voodoo doll, which is useless. Ring of the Goblin Slayer, and a Claw Graze saddle. So yes, there we go. We got a Claw Graze saddle, which is actually the second piece that I need. Also, the voodoo dolls are basically useless. So it's up to you if you want to use them for the achievement and then discard them. I'm going to now mail myself real quick this secondary item, because it is needed. Here, let me show you the combo that goes together. This combo is the two pieces that are needed to summon probably the best of the tier 2 bosses, and that's going to be the Carpus Fragment and Clawgraze's saddle. So at the very end of the video, I will be summoning that tier 2 boss. I know, you guys can't wait, right? It's awesome. Alright, the next one that I am going to summon is going to be Hedidet, or Hedidat, whatever you want to call it. And he is going to be marginally annoying because he's like kind of way up over in this general vicinity. But we are on our way to go find him and kill him. There's no specific order you have to do these in. It's just completely up to you how many you want to farm, whether you want to trade for them, because remember, they cannot be sold on the auction house. So you will see players trading between other players, like T-Rex fangs. All the parts can be traded. The completed lures can be traded. Because they cannot be sold or bought on the auction house, there is no set Astral Diamond value for these items, which means if you are going to trade, please just try to be respectful of the other players. There are people out there that have been ripping off other players and charging just completely exorbitant prices. But then again, it is what the market will bear. So, as I like to say, at the end of the day, as long as both players are happy with the trade, then it does not matter. And actually, I was off. The tier 2 is going to be up here. The tier 1 is down here. So, again, clear the area. It's just going to be a couple little compies. Usually compies, maybe Chalten Tigers you have to deal with. And then you will have this big old scorpion who does not move around much. He's basically like the crab. He's very easy to kill. And then I got a Ring of the Beast Slayer +1, and I got Spiteful Heels. So the Beast Slayer is not worth it. That's salvage. But Spiteful Heels is pretty good. It's crit defense deflection, and if you take more than 15% of your maximum hit points in a single blow, your crit chance goes up by 5% for 10 seconds. So, not bad, but definitely not, like, the best thing ever. He can also drop, though, this is something that I should mention, he can also drop an item called Hedidet's Searing Core, and that item is the tier 2 item that you need. However, remember, it can take multiple attempts to get the tier 2 items. So now we are going to go find this little bottled terror thing. Remember, this and the spinneret are located inside temples, and that means they're not marked on the map. So these are ones that if you did look at the map of the locations online, you might still be confused as to where you need to go. Because you need to come to this particular temple right here, and you actually need to go inside the temple. First time I did this, I thought that the item would be on the outside of the temple, but it is not. It is located inside the temple. Now, this is the most annoying of all the T1 summons, and you will see why very shortly. So the first thing that you will need to do is clear your way through the temple, and that means you're going to have to deal with multiple packs of enemies, and then make a right here, and clear this room. This is going to be the room that you actually summon the boss in. Trust me, you definitely want to clear this room, because these enemies are annoying. So once the room is clear, we're going to go ahead and summon the boss right here. Because this guy is annoying, I'm going to pop my wheel ahead of time. And then you kind of have to be like standing at a funny angle to actually see this. But there we go. Dendar will be there, Fang of Dendar. And what he does is he randomly will put your encounter powers on cooldown, so you can't use them, in addition to throwing you up in the air, in addition to actually being able to kill you. So this guy is not easy to deal with. He can be easy, but he can be very, very annoying. That's why I said, bring a friend, use a soul forge, take precautions when you're dealing with these guys if you are by yourself. Because especially this guy can be very annoying, but he has a very, very good drop. I don't know if we'll get it. We did get it. All right. We are looking good tonight, boys and girls. We got the Ring of the Cursebringer and a Ring of the Untitled Slayer, which, again, is basically useless. So the Untitled Slayer, HP and defense. The Beast Slayer, crit and recovery. Yeah, not impressed with either of those rings. So they are strictly salvage, in my opinion. But I got this ring, the Ring of the Cursebringer. Now, when you pick it up, it binds to your character. It is not account bound. So, very sad on that. But it gives you crit and recovery. Its equip bonus is really weird. Your attacks have a chance to inflict partial paralysis. Targets under the effect of partial paralysis may be periodically stunned for a short duration. And this does work against players in PvP. So that is one of the best rings that you can get. Our next and last item is going to be this Embroidered Cloak. Also, that boss can drop the tier 2 item, Fang of Dendar's Staff. So it is a very interesting thing, and you will have to do multiple hunts, which if you're looking this up, you probably already have realized you have to do multiple hunts. So fight your way out of the dungeon, or this little temple here, and we will go ahead and get this last summon. Yeah, I'm pretty happy. In this course of the video, I have done very well. I pulled 2 tier 2 pieces, and I pulled this ring. So let's talk a little bit more about trading while we are en route to this next location. Now, each platform, PC, Xbox One, and PlayStation 4, will all have independent markets and varying pricing. So the price that is comfortable for me may not be a price that is comfortable for you. But a lot of people have been trying to trade every one of the tier 1 resources for one superior mark each. That is, in my opinion, a little bit costly for some of them. I believe that the harder to get ones have more value, but at the end of the day, it's entirely up to you. Just remember that every one of these items is difficult in their own right to obtain. Just because a T-Rex might be the one that everybody knows doesn't mean that it's any easier, really. So just keep that in mind when you're farming and you're trading. As long as both players are happy, you're gonna have a good trade. And everybody has different RNG. You might have better RNG on Venom Tail than you do on Smilodon teeth. So it's one of those little things. That's a regular Tyrannosaur, and they are very annoying. This guy does not drop the Fang because he is in our way and he will follow you for quite some time. We will kill him. When they fall on their side, they are more vulnerable to damage. Otherwise, they have extremely high damage resistance. And I believe we are going to have to cross the river here. So that means eliminating those crabs real quick. Now this one I have only done one time. because getting the Smilodon's tooth is very difficult, at least for me. Some people have been able to get the Smilodon's tooth extremely easily. My friend was able to get 6 of them in like an hour's worth of farming. I have only ever been able to pull 2. The rest I had to trade for. So it just goes to show that your RNG will be different. Now, a little bit about farming these items. Try to go to a lower population instance. It does seem to help. It does not necessarily mean it will be any better drop rate for you, but it does seem to help a little bit for me. There also seems to be some kind of other factor at play with the spawn rate and drop rate of these enemies and then items. It seems to be the more items, the more trophies being given out in a instance, the fewer of the items you will get. It's really weird that way, but that's just been my observation from the time that I've spent farming. And we're gonna have to fight our way up to the temple, because this is the second one that's in a temple. Allosaurs are another enemy that don't drop you anything. They're just really annoying because they headbutt you a lot, repeatedly. I don't know if I'm going to make it through all of these Vitara without dying. So this might take a second. Remember, I'm only showing you the locations and everything. I'm not going to edit all of them together because, well, you need to see what you have to deal with to actually get there. I will say I believe like the Venom Tail, the Smilodon's tooth, those items I believe to be harder to get and possibly more valuable. But like I said before, as long as both players are happy at the end of the day with the trade, you're fine. So, seeing prices of like a superior mark each is not entirely uncommon and not entirely unwarranted depending upon the item. Also, the crafted lures, just remember, if you don't have them unlocked to craft, well, you're basically paying for someone else's time to craft them. Granted, it does not cost any more materials to craft them. You're still paying for that person's time, so factor that in when you are trading. Maybe a little bit extra, not like double or triple the price of the base resources. So we're gonna come in here now. And this guy takes a minute to find, because this is a pretty big temple. Again, either fight every group of enemies to clear everything. It's also very dark in here, I should mention that as well. So you kind of sometimes have to look at your mini-map to really find where you're going. This way, there we go. And you'll notice there's all these spider webs here. So you know you're in the right place. Because this is a spider. Spoiler alert. I mean, as if the name didn't tell you that already. So, go ahead and clear out all the Vitara. I have never seen rare Vitara spawn inside one of these temples. So, I don't believe that they can actually spawn there. Alright. The Vitara are gone. Now I'll summon the boss. Come on. Give me a tier 2 resource. This Arachna, big old ugly ass poisonous spider. Go ahead and just take her down as fast as possible. And I got the Arachna's Spinneret. So yeah, look at that. Awesome. And I also got a achievement for completing one of every tier 1 hunt. So if you didn't know, that's how you do it. You have to complete one of every tier 1 hunt to actually unlock it. And while I have done every one of these tier 1 hunts before, I did not summon the boss every time. So I believe in order to get the achievement, you must actually summon the boss yourself, not just be present to kill, if that makes sense. So that's the tier 2 resource, which I'm going to link in group because I'm honestly super happy that I got that. Like, that thing was very hard to get. I've never seen one drop before. That's literally the first time I've seen that item come, even in a group. Like, not my lore, but somebody else's lore. And that is basically how you do all of the tier 1 lores. Pretty cool, right? If you do have any questions, feel free to ask. I'll be happy to help to the, well, best of my ability. Now I am going to tell you where I like to farm, and I'm going to show my farming route for you. We are going to start at Camp Vengeance, and I will show you the farming route that I use for each individual piece. As I said, this video would fully explain everything. Now, I'm just going to farm, well, I'm going to run through, I'm not going to kill everything. But this war camp of the Vitara is the #1 farming spot for the Vitara. So pretty much everybody knows that. That's where you need to go to kill Vitara. If you wish to farm for rotten ogres, the best place to do that when there is not a heroic encounter up is going to be all around Camp Vengeance. Just the camp that you go to for your daily quests, all around there. Necromancers spawn, kill the necromancers, and you have a chance to spawn rare ogres. The crabs are a bit harder. They spawn one right here, one right there, and across the thing. So this is my rotation. I kill those crabs. I kill those crabs. I kill those rare, or those are not rare, but those are regular raptors. So I kill those raptors. Raptors are very difficult to get past because they have the sneak attack. And yes, I know these are not called raptors. I call them raptors. That's my name for them. Mine. I coined it. It's trademarked. Deal with it. There are also crabs that spawn right there. Another pack of these enemies that spawn right here. And I will be doing that T2 lore after I make it, once I show you this path that I use. Then up here, I visit the Tyrannosaurus. If there is a Tyrannosaurus, of course you want to kill it. So normally, if you're farming, you would kill the Tyrannosaurus to get a chance at the Tyrannosaurus Rex. Now you want to come down and backtrack a little bit to where you've seen those crabs. Kill the crabs if they are active, or you can come through and basically avoid them to cross the river. So we're just going to walk across the river, encounter some extra crabs right there. It's another crab spawn. Ignore the fact that I'm sailing on dry land. It is a dragon bone boat, so yes, it can do that. Normally around here, you will encounter another Tyrannosaurus. Then you have your first Chalten Tiger spawn. And we're going to go along this way. Just kind of sort of casual go through the palm fronds, where you will locate another Tyrannosaurus, or possibly a Tyrannosaurus Rex. That being the third possible spawn location. Come around here, and you will encounter yet another pack of raptors, where you will then end up on the beach with your last pack of crabs. That is the rotation that I use to farm as many things as possible at once. Now, it is the best for Tyrannosaurus fangs, not the best for other entities. So for other entities like the tigers and scorpions, I will kill that patch of tigers, run up here, kill this patch of raptors, or whatever you want to call them, move past those enemies, and we're going to kind of try and stay to the middle because this is an annoying area and they have an insanely long aggro range. I really, really hate them for that. In case nobody knew, I hate them for that sneak attack. Then I like to come right here and kill this pack of tigers. There's also a pack of raptors that spawns on the other side, but that's entirely up to you. Normally I will go around, but how you wish to do your rotation is completely up to you. But you generally will kill those tigers, these raptors, as I mentioned, that are another pack of raptors right there. And I'm not really like fully killing the enemies, I'm only sort of kind of half paying attention to them. Because I just want them to go away, in all honesty. Like, leave me alone. I don't want to be here anymore. This is a pack of scorpions. They normally spawn here. Kill them. The second pack of tigers. Kill them. And then you will be down around this with the second pack of scorpions. And you can rinse and repeat that rotation for the scorpions and Smilodons, which basically covers everything. So this upper circle for scorpions, Smilodons, and the occasional raptor. The other circle that I showed you for T-Rex fangs, raptors, and crab claws. And then I am going back to Chult to make this lore. So there's basically 4 paths, or 4 farming circles. If somebody else is farming in an instance when you get there in one of those circles, please be kind and either switch to a different circle or switch to a different instance. There's plenty of enemies to go around. Because only one is dropped, please don't be twat waffles and try and steal it from another player. That's just not fair. Alright, I'm going to make this tier 2 lore because this is the boss that I'm literally the most excited about and I literally cannot wait. So I would do it later. I will do a second video showing all the T2 bosses, but I am too impatient to wait. No! Crap. I just deleted the 2 tier 2 items. Son of a... Okay. Never mind. I'm not going to be able to show you because I literally just deleted those items. Okay, well, I will have to show you at a different time. I totally did not mean to do that. I accidentally hit the Y button. And I know it does come up and say that, you know, but I didn't pay attention. I meant to hit B and I hit Y. Shit. Well, I can't believe that happened on camera. See, even I mess up. I'll have to try and submit a support ticket, and hopefully Cryptic will be kind to me and give me those 2 items back, because I have spent hours and hours and hours and hours farming, and that was the first saddle that I seen, so I'm very upset about that, and I can't show you the boss. In any case, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you do have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave a comment. Otherwise, smash the like button and share the video. It greatly helps out with the searchability of videos here on YouTube. Of course, subscribe for more content. And until next time, stay frosty.